Welcome, Dirties. We are so excited to come back to a new episode of Till the Dirt. I know you don't usually have a formal open, but today there's a lot of formalities, a lot of annuals, a lot of things that are happening. Right, Tommy?
Yes, there are.
I want to acknowledge, Tommy, this has been a tough week for you because you are already emotional as it is. But your best friend, Jamie Sagantai, you always make fun of how I don't pronounce his name.
Sangathai.
Sangathai.
Sanguthai. He's Thai. It's a Thai last
So
name.
his name is Thai. Like, my last name isn't Persian. It's Javid. But,
Yeah, no, I'm
but
aware.
Jamie's last name has Thai in it because he's from Thailand originally.
Yes, that's how it works.
So it's not Sagantai, it's Saganthai, you say.
Sangathai.
Sangatai.
Yeah.
Are you pronouncing it with the full Thai accent? Or like,
Yes.
is that the American accent from Queens?
That's definitely
That's
Queen's
the way the
dish.
Queen... Okay, he had a birthday December 7th.
Same day as Pearl Harbor. A historic day of remembrance for me.
I'm sorry for your loss because your best friend Rob passed away.
Yeah, it's a rough week, man. My buddy Vito, he died 2006, December 3rd.
And this is why every December you turn into like a hyper emotional, crazy guy.
Yeah, it just sucks, man. You know what I'm saying? That's just part of it. I get it, you know what I'm saying? And I'm used to it. But it sucks to be used to it.
I feel like you've lost more people than the average bear.
For sure. I know I have. Just when I talk to people, they're like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Get away from me, you black cloud. You know what I mean?
Get away from me. That's why you thought I was going to die because you were like, oh, this shit happens to me left and right.
Frequent, bro. You know what I mean? Like, oh, shit.
So like, shout out to heaven. That video you posted was so beautiful, saying happy birthday to Jamie. It was a beautiful tribute.
I just think it's like there was such
Did you post it?
Yeah, but I used to think it was, I guess it's cathartic or therapeutic for people because I used to think that it was really funny when someone died that like you'd post. Like, who's that to? You know what I mean? They're dead. You think that wherever they are in the afterlife that they're sitting around on Facebook and like checking in who wrote a message to me today. Like, I never got it, but now I do it too. So I don't know. You can't beat them, join them. But yeah, man, you know, it sucks. You never met these people either, you know, so it's unfortunate. My buddy Rob's got little kids, you know what I mean? Now it's not little anymore, actually.
You describe his wife as a really, really badass woman.
Totally.
You said that she and I should meet because we would get along really well.
Well, you did. One of the times when we went to Watch What Happens, they met us. Like, they were the people that I put in the audience, her and a friend. When the doors opened, they came running at my wife, and she hadn't met them previously, so she thought they were like fans. They were hugging her and shit, so she was like, whoa. And then I had to, no, this is such and such, but, you know, you didn't get a chance to spend much time with them, you know what I'm saying, that night. She's a really tough broad. She's a real good woman. Her kids are awesome, and, you know, it sucks. You know, as a father, I would like to lean on Rob for fatherly advice because he's one of the smartest men I've ever met in my life, you know?
And I feel like in your life, you don't have a lot of people that you can talk to, especially because you're a new dad and you're a businessman and there are men that can mentor you like Rob in your life that they weren't here anymore.
Well, there's not a lot of people that I sit there with, you know, God gave us 2 ears and one mouth because sometimes you need to listen and sometimes you need to shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying?
You
and there's not a
definitely
lot of
need to
people that I would just sit there
reinforce that.
and listen. You know what I'm saying? There's not a lot of people, and he's one of those people that I would sit there and listen. Craig, too. Craig's someone that, you know, I'll always sit there and listen to what he's got to say. And, you know.
Definitely don't jinx anything to happen to Craig.
Oh, yeah, man. Nah, Craig's resilient, dude. Craig's resilient.
Well, Can I talk about just a pivot?
No, that's good. Listen, this is we're taking a break from telling our story to end out the year. We're going to do a Christmas episode. We're going to do New Year's covering this year's past, the year to come. And today we're going to talk about charity, and we'll get back to our story next year. And this is a tough week, like I said, and the best way to get out of that is to, think about positive things. I'm real proud of you this week. You weren't out there not telling anybody because that's not how you operate. What was that for the babies?
Oh, shout out to Casey Wilson because, all right, yeah, so it's Baby to Baby is the charity, and Casey Wilson, who does Bitch Sesh with her partner, they raised $33,000 for Baby to Baby, which is like headed by like Jessica Alba and like Reese Witherspoon and Jennifer Aniston's best friend, Jen Meyer, like Kate Hudson. Like the gala is like a star-studded A-list amazing mom that like, Vanessa Bryant was honored this year. And like Baby to Baby, that's right here in Culver City, used to accept clothes and donations.
Okay.
Because of COVID, they can only accept COVID-approved types of donations.
Yeah, or like brand new shit.
So when you want to donate these days, it can be tricky because you can't do what you used to do and put your stuff directly in the hands of someone else. But I just responded to Casey Wilson's IG post.
She's a big Bravo fan, that broad, right?
Yeah.
She loves all the Bravo stuff.
What we would
she
call
called me a DILF. She's the one who called me the DILF, right?
She did call you a DILF,
Yeah.
and so did
I mean, I didn't know what the fuck a DILF was.
a daddy I'd like to fuck.
No, I get it now, but at the time that night,
I was posting it all over the place.
but it wasn't the East Coast sees that shit first, right? So
And I
I
have
was
the East
already
Coast.
hearing you DILF. Tommy, you're a DILF. And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck these people are
you
talking
walked
about.
into the room and you were like, "What's a DILF?" And I was like, "A daddy I'd like to fuck." And so they show a picture of you in a tuxedo. It was, what's the name
Well,
of
I
the
am a DILF in a tuxedo. You know what I'm saying?
You actually had one of your pictures on your Tinder was a selfie in the bathroom wearing a fucking tuxedo.
No, I don't take bathroom selfies, bro. It was not a.
It was a hotel room
No, I was lying down on a
on a
chair or some
sheepskin,
shit.
lying
Some shit
on a
like-
chair,
Yeah, no, sitting in a chair.
Show
but
me
like
how to
with,
do-
but an overhead view of it.
like a mirror on a ceiling.
No, there was no bathroom selfie.
You took a picture of yourself in a suit, and that was one of your Tinder pictures. Oh, this is my whole point about Jamie. Okay, your beautiful friend, who I still haven't been able to meet before ever, Jamie Sagentai, is the reason you and I are here. So even though he's passed away, and even though he passed away before I got a chance to meet him, we were in the hospital as he was taking his final breaths. We did
Yes.
go together, and his father was there, and you were there,
Yes.
and a select few other people. But do you ever realize that if it wasn't for Jamie, who I never met, but he's still responsible for you and I being here today?
Why? Because he gave you the validity that he knows Jamie, so he's got to be all right.
No,
Why?
because the fucking selling point of swiping right on you was the photo of you sitting in a fashion show in one of those white wedding chairs, those wooden ones, those folding fancy ones that they
Yeah,
only
no, I
use
get
for
it. I
weddings.
get it. And I understand. I
You
look
were
like
wearing a shirt, a plaid shirt.
I look like a supermodel in that picture. I get it. But
I know.
but I
you used
don't.
to have hair.
But what does Jamie have to do? Because he was sitting next to me. But like it's
Yes, because Jamie is the reason why you went to that fashion show and sat in that chair and took that picture, because you're terrible at taking pictures. Jamie was all about taking pictures.
for sure.
And he made sure that you guys got a picture sitting in the front row of a fashion show looking very good, which both of you did. And that picture is why you had something to put on your Tinder profile, because all the rest of your pictures were trash and garbage. And I would have never fucking
true.
swiped on them.
That's
You look
true.
like you were wearing like these plastic gold gas station Elvis glasses in another picture. And then you had some weird like duck
Oh,
hat in
no,
another one.
no,
It
I
was
see.
awful.
No, I see.
And
I see what you're saying.
Hot tip for girls, one thing that you should see as an advantage, the average straight male who's not like into himself and does like gym pics and all this stuff, he's gonna have bad pics. So his profile pictures are going to be pretty below average. So don't curb appraise a man based off his photos. If they're bad, chances are he's a good guy. You know what I'm saying? If they're bad pictures, chances are he's not a conceited psychopath. He's not like a douchebag, because only douchebags have really well curated pictures. You know what I mean?
Oh, you're the best, babe. I love you.
Just wanted to tell you. Shout out to Jamie Sagantai.
Shout out to douchebags.
All you douche. Shout out to the douchebags. Shout out to the assholes.
So I think it's time for us to have a toast. Let's have a toast for the douchebags. Let's have a toast for the assholes. Let's have a toast for the scumbags. Everyone
Kanye West. Shout out to Kanye.
Shout out to Kanye.
I just hope you realize that, because I know that Jamie is realizing that from heaven.
Okay.
And if you ever feel like a gust of wind behind you,
That's not you farting? That's not
Sometimes-
what that was?
that gust of wind, when there's nothing there, it is your spirits that are coming around to say hello.
That guy got me yesterday, dude. The guy that came in here to do... So, like, Shams
Carl.
has had a cough for a little bit, and we're just trying to make sure that it's not, anything that he's in the environment that we're living in. So, I just wanted the peace of mind. So, I had the guy come in that does the air testing, and
Explain a little more backstory.
well, like I said, Shams has had a cough for a little bit. We've gone to the doctor. They've done X-rays. They've done, everything looks fine. I just don't think that he should have that cough. It's not all the time. It's just, every now and then. Maybe I'm being paranoid, whatever.
So you had me reach out to the environmental air test people,
Yes.
and it's not a cheap test.
No.
And it basically is quality control. So the guy that came over, his name is Carl, and he's awesome.
Yeah. He didn't shut the fuck up, but he was
He
real good.
really
He was
tall.
real good. He knew his shit, whatever. But
He had the vibe of like Danny Glover in that movie. What's the Mel Gibson, Danny Glover?
Lethal
first one?
Weapon. You thought he was going to have a shootout with drug dealers in our house?
I take it back. He had the vibes of Danny Glover in the movie Canyon. Come on.
Grand Canyon?
Grand Canyon.
Okay, so
Lawrence,
maybe-
directed by Lawrence Kasdan.
Maybe he just had the vibe of Danny Glover.
Yeah.
He was
But
a-
much younger. This guy's way younger.
But no, he was super nice.
I
He's
think we
super
should hang out with
knowledgeable.
him.
But
Do you think
he
I could-
got me good? He has a thermal reading. So like what you could see in the walls, and you could see the heat. Like speaking of Danny Glover, Predator 2. See, you could see like how the Predator would see. You see like the X-ray vision.
Okay.
And he I didn't see him do it, but he had put his hand on the wall, and then he did it, and like there was a handprint on the wall. And he's like, yo, bro, you got ghosts. And I was like, fuck. That's probably why I didn't
I
the
miss
black cloud
that?
in it. What's going on?
I mean,
Yeah, no, he caught me for a second, man.
Oh
he caught
my
me. I
God,
gotta admit,
you
he
are
caught
so
me. He
naive.
caught me for a second. I was like, what? What the fuck are you talking about? Ghosts.
He put his hand on the wall, and then he
Yeah.
used his thermal detector, and he created a handprint.
Yeah,
And
that
he
wouldn't
fuck-
otherline be where it
You are
was, dude. You know what I
ridiculous.
mean? Like, what the fuck? Why is there a handprint?
Oh my
He's
God.
like, yeah, you got ghosts.
I would have not fallen for that at
Yeah,
all.
nah, he
Sorry.
got me. He caught me for a second.
You want to hear
What?
something terrible? If you guys ever have a handyman or a contractor or plumber, some purveyor that needs to service something in your home for any reason, the first thing Tommy does is A, he disappears. B, if he walks past them, he'll barely maintain. He'll be like, what's up, man? And then he'll leave. And then if he does communicate with him, he'll be like, I know absolutely nothing about any of this.
That's not
so
true.
if you told me that a screwdriver and a
That's not
washer
true.
cost 2 pennies, I
not
would
true.
not know if it was
This is all lies.
2,000 or 2 pennies.
This is all lies.
Yes, you do.
The first thing I do always is offer them something to drink. Do
Oh,
you want a
that's-
water, or do you want a Gatorade, or can I get you something to drink?
Right before, after you tell
That's
them you
the
don't know
first
shit
thing
about
I do.
anything.
No, the first thing I'll do is reprimand my wife for not offering them a water or a Gatorade.
We actually
and then
offer-
I'll let them know that I'm handicapped. There's a cap on how handy I am. I can't really do shit. Like all the
What's
cars.
the cap? A cap suggests that you have a little bit.
Yeah, but I can't. All the cars for Shams in the backyard have been built by me.
All of them?
All of them. He's got like 8. It's like a used car lot back there.
my
He's got like
God.
8 vehicles in the backyard that he drives none of them. He hates all of them.
He's not tall enough yet.
He's fine. He's more than tall enough. He reaches the brake. He doesn't like it, but whatever. I put them all together. Every one of them they're just a little bit askew.
Off.
There's just a little bit
Broken.
like you got the lemon. If you bought that car, you got the lemon if you were at a car
No
lot.
wonder
you
he
know what I
doesn't
mean?
like them.
There's just something a little fucked
little
up
wonky.
with it. A little wonky, yeah.
But
and,
hey-
so like you don't want me doing it. Plus I hurt myself at some point doing it. There's a high probability I might have a stroke. I get real
God forbid.
agitated. I
God
curse
forbid.
a lot.
You shouldn't have to bother with you have to outsource.
Some people have it. Some people have certain things they're good at. It's just not something I'm good at.
Some
it's
people
not.
consider that like meditation. So I don't know how to tell this story in a humble way so I don't sound like a douchebag.
No, listen,
Theme
it's
of the
about
day?
charity, and one of the things about charity is that you can brag about it. It's one of the few times in your
Well-
life that you're allowed to brag about it, and you can kind of be all right
I
with it because you're doing
didn't,
good
though.
things.
What happened was I signed up to Casey Wilson's Bitch Sesh volunteer day to gift wrap and shop for a specific baby, and we did it. I just showed up and we all met at this Culver City Target. I just walked up to, it was a big group of us ladies on a Tuesday morning, and we just started gift wrapping. And then I guess like it became a little awkward because I didn't really say like, hey, I'm Maris or MJ, like, you know me from Bravo. And, we have our masks on. I had a baseball cap on too because I probably looked ratchet this whole week. And she was like, are you? And then I was like, yes, I'm so sorry I didn't introduce myself properly. Then she was like, I am obsessed with you and your husband. And I was like, so embarrassed. And then it was like, really, I don't know. It was like, why? I don't know. I felt like maybe a little bit like, did I handle this properly?
Listen,
And then we had a bro moment and everything was fine. And like, I connected with all the ladies. And, several hours later, we had handled, I don't know how many families, but $30,000 worth.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You've actually rounded out the year pretty impressively.
I'm killing December.
You ran that 5K for charity.
That was Pride Run. So that's
Okay.
not like really that's just raising awareness for the trans community and the LGBT trans youth in Palm Springs.
right.
And I think Trevor Project, because I don't know if you know a lot about that stuff, but there is a high incidence of people who need a place to turn when they're trying to identify who they are and feel like they're not getting ridiculed, beaten, suicidal, bullied, cyberbullied for just trying to feel comfortable walking down the street.
Yeah, man. Then you did that Project Angel food too, no?
Did that on the morning of Thanksgiving, which is another reason why I feel like a champion, because I still felt like I was with you guys in the afternoon, late part of the day. And then we got to feed some people in need of meals.
Yeah, I'm real proud of you. I think
Shout
that it's
out to Richard Ayub.
I think it's important that we're normal people, man. You know what I mean? We're on a reality television show. It's not like we're
very normal in the sense of like our day-to-day lives are like everybody else.
we've been given a platform, and I think it's important to use that platform for positivity. I have a son, and some of these reality shows can be pretty ratchet, drama and being craziness. I don't want that to be the message that I send to my kid in the big picture. He's going to see all this shit one day. So, I want him to know that his mother and father are grateful for the blessings that we have, and we try to give back when we can.
Yeah, it's important to focus on the positive though, because like we really do a lot of like, even on the show, the lion's share of what we've done on the show has been making a fun impact, like talking about things that were hard. And then like the cringeworthy stuff that I hope and pray and believe is going to fade away. And I think the forefront is going to be like, like you and me finding each other. It's like a landfall. Is it, what do you call it? A landfall?
Windfall.
A windfall.
Yeah, landfall I don't think is good.
That's not a word.
Doesn't sound like it'd be a good thing. You don't want land falling on you.
I don't think land can fall on you unless it's like a
I don't think
mudslide.
wind could fall on you either.
Oh, it's a metaphor.
Yeah.
Okay, we're getting in there, aren't we?
Totally.
With the metaphors. Real high IQ, guys. Make sure that you are a Mensa member before you can tune in and comprehend our episodes.
Yeah, absolutely. Have a thesaurus.
Make sure y'all work for
Keep
a
a
think tank.
thesaurus. Keep a dictionary with you close by
Google
because
Translator.
you're gonna have to, really come on your A game to pay attention to a conversation between you and me.
You and I got into a big fight this morning because you didn't feel like I was speaking your love language often enough. So I should say, in the topic of inspiring other people by finding each other, let me also keep it real with you and say, like, yes, I definitely want to make sure that I acknowledge you for the things that you do. Because like sometimes I'll like open up the sliding door from the backyard and you'll be like watching a game and I'll be like, I love you. I appreciate you. And you'll be like, yeah, babe. Yeah, babe. And then I'll just close the door. And then sometimes you'll be like, you never appreciate anything that I do around here. And then I'm like, how dare you say that?
Yeah, we just get into a fight like every other fucking couple has. Put it that way.
But at the same time, like I always get inspired to like if there's another couple that I like and I find out that they have rough patches or good days and bad days and we get to share those stories, to me, the whole beauty and magic of this is that like we're having a conversation with our friends and everyone who like DMs us and sends us like all the feedback on our social pages is like keeping the conversation going.
Yeah.
And so like you're worried about like our son growing up and seeing some shit, but I think at the most part,
No,
like
it's not even
people
about.
are
I'm not
gonna
worried about him growing up
be
seeing some
happy.
shit. I'm worried about him growing up and, being grateful. Like I said, I know he's spoiled. He's our only son and I enjoy spoiling him, but I don't want him to be spoiled. I want him to be grateful and appreciative.
I kind of feel like we should ease up on the amount of toys and the number of trucks.
Yeah, that's not, but that's not just our fault too. At every birthday, the kids' birthdays.
Everyone, like
and
25 people
yeah,
come over
bro,
and there's
you know what
25
I mean?
trucks.
Yes. So
And they
it's-
break kind of quick and then you have to buy another one because it's your sanity. You guys,
Matter of fact, if you guys out there have any suggestions of a good way or a good place or a good home that we could give a lot of these toys to, DM us, send it in, and I'll make sure that the toys get to them.
and also I'm going to drop off a bunch of stuff at the Goodwill down the street from us.
Well, no, not the Goodwill, because the Goodwill takes the. I'm not knocking the Goodwill, but the Goodwill takes that stuff and they sell it, and it takes a while. Like if you know people that it can help them directly, I feel like it's just a better
I'll
way
totally
of
do
doing
that.
it. Yeah, if you have,
you just
followers
gave me
out
some
there, not every.
ideas.
Yeah, I'm sure we have followers. I'm sure there's people that listen to the podcast
Listeners.
that might not have, It's been a tough couple of years, COVID wise, and
Yeah.
we got some of the shit. It looks like it's brand new, man. You know what I mean? So
It's not
if you want it, I'll be happy to get it to you too.
So today the phone rings and it's Miss Vita Javid and she calls me and she goes, "Hi, Merki June." And I was like, "Hi, Mom. How are you?" And I was like, "I'm good. How are you?" And she was like, "About your Amazon Live."
Oh, here it comes. Good for her. I can't believe she figured out how to get you and watch you on Amazon Live.
Well, that's a very big challenge. She saw my IG story, and it is really hard to find your first Amazon Live unless you Google it.
She could Google though. She's a Googler.
She's a Google it.
She
Google
is.
it.
She's a Googler.
She always says
the Google.
Google it. The Google.
Yeah, the Google.
On that note, which I'll touch on that, if you guys do have an inkling to check out my essentials on my Amazon Lives, I just did my first one. I'm doing another one tomorrow. I'm going to be doing them in the month of December the most often.
For obvious reasons. You were phenomenal yesterday, babe. You
Thank
were
you.
outstanding.
Really?
Like I was in the office
Whoa.
working and I heard you. The key to doing any of that shit is sounding like it's nothing. And in it, it's not nothing. It's very, very difficult to be in that position. That's not why everybody could do it. And making it look easy is the whole job. And you made it look real easy. So you were outstanding yesterday. But I didn't mean to steal your thunder. Give them a little bit of an idea of what it is that you're doing
Give
with
me more
Amazon.
thunder. I thought felt great. I just share all of the must-have things in my life. I share all the stuff that I can't live without, that has through my trial and error of wasting a lot of money on garbage and then finding the diamonds.
But what is that just fashion? Is it like, if you find a certain ketchup, does it run the gamut, or is it just one thing? I don't understand. It's just anything that you purchase?
I could literally put my favorite ketchup if I wanted to, but I'm focusing on things that I think are really important, like my bras, like things that snatch my body, such as my everyday yoga pants, the makeup that I find that you like it when I wear because it's like a really good coverage foundation, really affordable items.
So what are you saying? So like every time you do it now, you're going to talk about your bras and your yoga pants?
Every week is going to be different. Some of the things, like yesterday being my first one, I didn't get to talk about everything, and it's a carousel.
And you'll build the audience. You know what I mean? More people, in theory, should be watching if things go correctly. We'll be watching next week and then the week after, and you build upon it.
And it's interactive. All of the people that watch the live can ask me questions, and I speak to every single one of them.
So like QVC.
Yeah, and I speak to each one, and I answer specific questions, like, hey, you mentioned that last week, or, go and look at one of my previous lives.
No, it makes sense, because when you were talking to us, I heard you, oh, Rachel, and you were saying names. I'm like, what the fuck's she talking about? Now,
yeah, I'm sure from the other room I sounded like a psychopath. For those of you guys that don't know about Amazon Live yet, it's like having an IG Live, except it's on Amazon, and all of my secrets and all of my favorite things are there. So if let's say I'm talking about my favorite bras, the item pops up and it's highlighted right under a ticker, right underneath my camera on your screen.
So you had your titties out on Amazon?
I did, and I'm going to do it again.
Oh, yeah?
ASAP. It's the only place I'm allowed
all right.
nowadays.
Yeah.
Basically, the bra will come up, the photo, the link of the Amazon where I got it from, and the prices are insane because Amazon automatically pulls up the lowest price of any seller on Amazon. And then we talk about it. Like, why this bra? Why these pants? Why these yoga shorts?
It sounds cool. And it's interactive, so that makes it that much better for people.
Yeah, we'll just put the link in the description of this episode. And I definitely want to see you guys out there because it's like I'm a bargain shopper.
Speaking of links and speaking of Amazon and speaking of charity, the wish list that I have up for the book club is up. I've gotten some books from you folks. I just want to say that I genuinely appreciate it. I really, really do. It's something that makes me feel good, and I wouldn't be able to do it without you folks donating the books. So again, I just a little background and while we're here, the idea of Fight Club. Well, first off, when my wife was going through what she went through with having the kid, believe me, I'm not a big prayer guy, dude, but I made promises to the universe that if everybody came out of that all right, that I was going to do better and be better. And I would read to the kid, and I was doing those book reviews. People might remember them on Instagram. And your uncle said, I got a bunch of books for you. So he brought me a bunch of books. Some of them are great. Some of them were, we already had. Some of them I didn't have the room for. So you don't throw a book in the garbage, right? That's a sin. It's a tool, right? But a tool only works if you use it. So I wanted to give them away. And like you were talking about with COVID, nobody would take them because they had to be brand new. I wanted to bring them to the children's hospital, and they wouldn't let me.
Son of a gun.
Sons of bitches, right?
I mean, you want to do something good.
No good deed,
goes
dude.
Unpunished.
No good deed, right?
Sheesh.
So, I made the post about, giving them to somebody. Long story short, people responded to it, and then, there was people that needed the books. So I just decided to send people books. Now we're over a year in, 30 families, 80 kids. They get these books every month. This month, by the way, shout out to you. Shout out to Narode. Shout out to Layla. I wouldn't be able to get them out there this month without you girls. Layla looks like shoots Adderall and she's got serious OCD, bro. The way she stacked those
That was crazy.
That was crazy, bro. You know what I mean? She looked like that was nuts. But thank you, Layla. Now it's also a group effort. We all kind of do it each month together. I've turned it into a 501c3 because I wanted to, hopefully I could scale this thing out and take it to bigger places. But in the end all, if it's just something that we're doing as a family, I think it would be a good legacy for us to have for our kid. Reading's a powerful tool. A lot of people are born in bad situations, And reading can take people out of it. You know, it can take you out of that mentally, your imagination, but also, you know, real stuff. You know, you can learn a lot. And I think it's a powerful tool that people are forgetting about. I thank you a lot for your help doing it.
It was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the things that most people don't have is follow through. And your follow through on this has been consistent AF. You know that there's 90 children, 30 families that are waiting every month for these new books. And then you just send them like stacks of books every month. And I think you don't want to let them down. So
What I really would like to do, big picture, is, you know, I would like to go to schools, you know, buy books for classes if I could, you know, raise some money and do some good with it. But
well, I think you've been at it for like a year and change now.
well, it makes me feel good. You know what I mean? It makes
it's
me
actually
feel good.
been since last summer. It was a COVID baby that you had because you started it during the year 2020.
Well,
And here we are at the very end of 2021. You guys, we made it. It's December 2021, and we are going to become even better, stronger, more like just 2.0 of ourselves. I can feel it in my bones.
But, you know, for me, I wasn't always that way. You know, I definitely, well, there's people out there that listen to this that know me. They're like, what the fuck is this guy? You know, my son opened my eyes a lot to be grateful. There was a lot of time, you know, when your mom dies early, dude, and you have a lot of death in your life, you start to get angry at the universe. You think that you got fucked. Then you start to grow older and you realize bad things start to happen to other people. And it actually kind of makes you happy in a sick way because it's like, oh, it's not just me. Everybody gets fucked at some point.
You need to know that you're not being singled out by the gods, the universe.
No, I understand. I get
You know.
it, you know. And my wife came out of it okay, and I got a healthy baby boy. Trust me, I know the universe ain't fucking me, dude. I'm
You
grateful.
scored in the
I'm
wife
grateful.
and child
I'm
department
happy
so far.
I'm a real lucky dude. But like, I just always, you know, I don't know how much charity or anything like that I've ever done in my life prior to this. You know, anything
probably-
else was court ordered. You know what I mean?
What happened? You were going to tell the story about getting arrested. You were like, not only do I not do charity, but
Yeah, like I said, anything else was kind of court ordered. Don't get me wrong. Like, I've always, you know, I used to always give money to the homeless. Not so much now anymore because I feel like they shake you down.
that asshole, he's
No,
standing there
bro,
being
listen,
hungry.
Man, I was always the person to give him a scratch. And then when I lived downtown with Jamie, you know, I would come home and late at night from work and they would like, you know, make demands. You know what I mean? Like, yo, buy me a soda. Yo, let me get $3. Like, what the fuck, bro? I just got home from work. But again, like I said, cynical. You know what I mean? I was always kind of a cynical dude in a lot of ways, you know? And when I was a kid, I was probably 15, 16. And there was a big, you could look back, it was my sophomore year in high school in New York.
Really, where they can look in their periodicals.
Yeah,
You can
the
Google
almanac.
it.
You could look in the Farmer's Almanac. The winter that year was fucking crazy. It snowed all the time. And it was Catholic high school, dude. You know, that's a private school. They would just close. We were down in a hill. Like, they would just, all right, there's snow. All right, no school tomorrow. Like, the month of December that year, we went to school like 4 times.
Poor Terry McGuire. She was probably in charge of you.
No, this is before that. This is, like I said, I was like a sophomore in high school. This is my grandmother still was dealing with my fucking maniac crazy ass. So I had actually just went to where we went to that Vinny's wedding, that catering hall. It's a big...
Russo's on the Bay.
Yeah, I had just came from there. Everybody at some point in our neighborhood worked at Russo's. And this was like my time. I had just come from the orientation. So I was dressed like, you know, like I was
Valet
going like...
Parker.
No, like I went for a
penguin.
job interview, right? And I stopped on my way home to the checker tables, which were right down the block from my house. And that was where the epicenter of mischief for kids in my age group at that particular
What do you
point
mean
in
by
time of
checker
life.
tables?
There was checker tables at the park, and everybody would sit at the checker tables.
Oh, okay. Checkers.
Checker tables, yeah, sorry.
Checkers.
Checkers, chess.
Backgammon.
You know, there wasn't chess or checkers being played at these tables. There was just people drinking 40s and, you know, acting crazy. But whatever, I stop off on there on the way home, and one of my friends had found keys to the car. The keys were in the door. So I took the car, and it was stick, and I didn't know how to drive stick. Got it like a
You
block.
still don't know how to drive stick.
Yeah. I got it like a
Your
block.
wife does.
And the cops rolled up, and I just got out and run. So everybody ran, and I'm the only one that looks like I just came from a job interview. You know what I mean? It wasn't like everybody else was hanging out in snow pants and shit. Like I was dressed nice. So they caught me real quick.
They see you and decide the guy in the suit must be the perpetrator.
Yes, because I was the one that got it running out. Like I got out of the car and ran out. So they saw me run out, and then I ran into, there was a bunch of kids that scattered. Now, if I was dressed like all the kids that scattered, it might have been easier.
Harder
a little
to
bit more
identify
difficult.
you.
Yeah, exactly. It was not difficult
There
to
was
figure out
only
which
one
ones I
kid
was.
in safety orange
There's
running
only
away
one
from
kid in fucking
a suit.
dress shoes. You know what I mean?
Right. So what
yeah,
did
they
do? Did
grabbed
they
me.
like grab you by the shoulder?
Yeah, but I also I wasn't gonna get any of my other friends in trouble too. So once they started coming in, I just stopped, and I was, it was me, whatever. And again, it's snowing like crazy every day. So like people were looking to get arrested. Like they didn't want to sleep outside in the street. So like homeless dudes were, committing crimes. And so, but long story short, it was just super overcrowded. So I was in there actually for a few days. And when I came out, the lawyer I got was like, you should go do community service now. This way, by the time you get to court, you'll get less hours. So whatever, I went to there.
He's going to see that you've already been setting a good example,
trying to
making
prove,
your
yes.
Amends.
Yes, so there's a special needs hospital in Howard Beach. So I went there, and the lady that ran the program, she was the nicest, literally the nicest fucking human I've ever met. And I know Terry Maguire. You know what I mean? Like Terry Maguire still has some salt to her from time to time. This lady was the fucking nicest lady I've ever met in my life. It was just her and like 30 special needs people. It wasn't just kids. So like it was kids, some adults, you know what I mean?
Middle.
And just her.
That's
and,
hard.
It could be intense, right?
That's hard.
So I'm like, do you need some help? She's like, listen, I got a Special Olympics qualifier coming up in whatever it was, like 3 or 4 months. She was like, you coach them with the basketball up till then, and I'll sign whatever paper you need. I'll give you whatever hours it is. I'll sign whatever letter you have. All right, done deal, So I would go there, 2 nights a week, and I'd work with that. And I'm like, once we get competitive, dude, I'm like Bobby Knight. You know what I mean? Like
Who's Bobby Knight?
He's a real intense basketball coach. Like I wasn't, I took shit serious, dude. And by the time that we were done, believe me, I'm not saying that we were going to beat the Lakers, but if you gave me another special needs basketball team, we would have kicked their fucking ass. And the day comes, like, all right, it's St. John's University. We get out, so we get there, there's not a fucking basketball in sight. It's all track and field. That's what the event is. So like,
That's so sad.
yeah, no, but they try these. Believe me, I'm telling you, I didn't mind doing what I did because those kids and adults too never have a bad day in their life, bro. They're smiling the whole fucking day. You know what I'm saying? Like even at that event, everybody there, and there's some, for the most part, it's a qualifier for New York State. There's not a lot of talent there, but there is talent there. Like I think the dude that does the shock put, the thing that you put in your neck and then you throw, I think like the guy from that event went on to win the bronze medal for the Special Olympics for the world. But most of the talent wasn't exceptional. Like they would fire off the gun and they'd run in different directions. That's a
really nice image.
That's the most
fun.
That's the most charity that I've ever done prior to, what I do now with the book club. So when people talk about how fucking great I am, take a step back. You know what I mean? Like I said, the last fucking thing I did that was charitable, I was court-ordered, and I stole a car to do it.
Nice image.
Yeah,
nice visuals.
We could take it down and put me on the fucking pedestal, bro. You know what I mean? It was a fun day. But there wasn't a fucking basketball in sight. And I was like, Ann. Her name was Ann. And I was like, Ann, what the fuck? There's not a basketball in sight. what have I been doing with these kids for the last one? She's like, they don't care, man. It's all,
They're just
you know,
having fun.
Yeah, they don't care. They're just having fun. So it's, you know, and she was like, and you got them good. They were all good. They were all ready to play. I'm like, all right, you know, they were a well fucking oiled machine, man. By the time we were ready for the Special Olympic Games. But yeah, it was, so like I said, it's the time of year and it shouldn't just be now, but if you're, someone that's fortunate enough to have a really good holiday. Think of the people out there that aren't. And, you know, if you could do, you know, pay someone a compliment, do something nice for someone. And it's not always about money. If you could keep that in your head, in your heart, between now and the end of the year. And I think that we could all go into next year strong.
I fucking love that story. That might be my new favorite story that I've never even knew about
I
you.
never told you that.
If I have a son that is incorrigible, like you sound, like you were, I will take out a brown wooden paddle.
Yeah, but there was no me for him. I didn't have that. You know what I mean? Like I didn't
You didn't have a dad.
Yeah, or that male influence. Any of the male influences I had were like older dudes. They were in the
Looking
street
back-
too. You know what I mean? Like
Looking back, if God forbid your son acts like that when he's 15, what are you going to do?
it's never gonna get to that.
Just it's a hypothetical. I just want to know if, and like, you know, it's not gonna be probable because he has us. But if your son at the age of 15 lands himself at Calabasas High School hanging out with some kids at the checkers table and he comes home and you tell him,
Well, no, he
what's the
doesn't come home. That was the other thing. Like I said, I didn't mean to elongate on the story, but like in New York, I don't want to break up anybody's thoughts about me. I know a lot of people out there think I spent a few nighs on getting a few, three
Spit it
hots
out.
in a cot.
Spit it
So
out. What?
I've had the experience before.
What? You've had the what?
3 hots in a cot. It's what you get when you go to jail. You get 3 hots in a cot.
Three hot meals and a cot
Yeah.
to sleep
3
in.
hots in a cot.
I thought the first time you got arrested was when you turned yourself in for jumping the fence and throwing the planters.
Well, you thought wrong.
I've been telling everybody Tommy's never been to jail before.
Well,
I think you mean you didn't have to do LA County.
Yeah, I've never been arrested. No, this is all shit when I was a kid, dude, when I was young.
So
You
it
know what
doesn't
I mean?
count when you're like 12 or 15.
Not
Okay.
yet.
So my point is,
No,
forget
I mean,
about
listen,
the
a little
cod.
older too, maybe, but
Hold on,
whatever.
hold on.
My only
Get back
point
to
is
this is my
particular,
question.
what normally goes down.
3
and-
hots and a cod was not a regular thing, or it was.
no, it wasn't a regular thing, but it's
But
something.
it has happened to you while you were a
Yeah,
kid.
the only reason I was even bringing it up is normally in New York, if you get arrested, like it's that park, that checker tables, for example, the cops would come there all the time and do sweeps. So like you didn't have to, you could just be hanging out in the park after
They
9
just
o'clock
clear it out,
and get picked
fellas.
up by the cops.
Just
You
clear
know what I'm
out.
saying?
Go home, kids.
Not cleared out. They might arrest you. Sometimes they might clear you out. Sometimes they might come with a paddy wagon and actually arrest people.
So basically, it's like these are the kids that don't have a curfew being enforced by their parents, or they don't have control over their kids.
Or there's nothing really else big crime-wise in your precinct, so you got to fucking do something. So you got to do this, and this is Giuliani, quality of life type shit. So, and again, if they come there every night to tell you to leave and you don't necessarily leave because you don't listen because you're a group of kids, sometimes they might come back and lock people up. My only point is normally you go through the system, it's a night in jail. They're going to give you an ACD, which is it's a conditional discharge. So if you don't get in trouble for 6 months, then you're good. It's literally wiped off. It was like it never fucking happened. So that type of stuff would happen. But this time, because everybody was, those jails were packed, I was in there for like 4 fucking days. They didn't take me to Queens Bookers. They actually took me to a precinct. And I was there for like the first 2 days. So I didn't come home. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't, you said that, what will you do if you're shams and you didn't, you came home. I didn't come home.
Was your grandma worried sick?
Well, they let me make a phone call. So I was able to let them know.
Because I heard some stories about how bad you were. And it sounds like your grandma didn't have a lot of control over you.
No.
So begs the question, Your mom wasn't around. Your dad wasn't around. You had some uncles and aunts, but no one in that household had any way of making
I
you
didn't
do
really
the right thing. Like you were just like a kid on his own recognizances.
And I really didn't respect that. You know what I mean? I didn't feel like I felt a real detachment from it. Yeah, it just didn't. First off, I didn't think I'd live to be 30. Like
According to you, nobody else did.
Yeah, I just did. So,
Either.
like I said, man, I was just I didn't see big picture shit. I was angry.
So do you think it's because your mom, you would have listened to your mom though, right? Had your mom stayed alive, I know that you told me that your sister
Who
and
knows?
you
Who
were
knows?
bad
Listen,
kids.
I might not have listened to her either. You know what I mean? But I know that
Because you did say that you guys would mess with your mom too, you and your sister.
Yeah, no. Listen, unfortunately, my mom worked her ass off. You know what I'm saying? She worked herself high
Would you
up.
be considered a latchkey kid? Meaning, for if you guys are not familiar with it, I'm sure you are, but like that means that your kids would stay at home with the doors locked until your parents would come home.
Yeah, she went from a secretary to an executive vice president for what is now Verizon. But you don't get there as a woman in the age that she did it in, the time that
Without
she
putting
did it
in the hours.
without working your fucking tail off. I'm sure, someone probably offered her the pickle every now and then too. She had to fucking, keep your head down and soldier through. You know what I mean? But she would have to do.
So comfortable talking about your mom.
But she would have to do. She would have to do fucking like there were street fairs. She would work those. So she worked her fucking tail off, bro. And if you're a kid, you miss. Now you could kind of psychoanalyze. I've been to enough therapy, sat down with enough fucking therapists, anger management. I know that there was definitely I miss not having that mom. You know what I'm saying? And then she was gone. So now I don't have any of that. So it's just you go through life kind of on a drift. You don't think anyone gives a shit. So why do you give a shit? But I do give a shit about my son a lot, and that's not going to happen to him.
So you're saying that you can control your child when he's a teenager with all that testosterone from Tommy Fight, this Irish, angry, Catholic, Italian, Persian. Thank God he's got my angelic blood running through his
Yeah,
veins.
because you're a real fucking.
Because I was an obedient, fearing child.
Yeah,
I'm a God-fearing person today.
The two of us,
respected
you're
my
the one that
parents.
actually spent time in prison. So taking it down a notch. The fucking Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Relax.
So you think that 15-year-old Shams, your son, is going to have all that testosterone pumping through his body and he's going to just listen to you?
If you do it right along the way, you don't get to that point. Like
Right.
If you lay the bricks, then the house won't fall. If you lay the right foundation and build the right bricks, then I think that he'll be a good kid and he won't want to do shit like that. He'd be one of those other kids that were at that checker tables that like were waiting for Tommy because they knew I would do it. You know what I mean? He ain't gonna be the one.
He's not going to be the Tommy.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, I mean, we've
man.
gone on and on.
We went in there pretty deep.
Well, I love it. All right, guys. That was fun.
That was fun, babe.
And we're going to see you next week. We're going to have Christmas episode next. Thank you so much for tuning in. We love you guys so much. You dirty
sons of bitches.
Thank you guys so much for listening to another episode of Till the Dirt with Tommy and MJ. We're so happy you're coming on this journey with us. It would mean so much to us if you would rate our show, give us 5 stars, leave a nice comment, and subscribe so that you can stay up to date with all our new episodes. You could also follow us on all platforms at Till the Dirt with Tommy and MJ. See you next week.